Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is January 25th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see we've got the spin starting up here across central California. We've pushed the onshore flow, high relative humidities. We've put an end to those Santa Ana winds for the time being. We'll check the extended forecast as we always do as we go through the video today. But the big story is the rainfall that is going to be incoming here across portions of central, southern California, some higher elevation mountain snows across the Sierra and for southern California as well. And yeah, we'll dive into those details here as we go. Now, taking a look at the mid-level water vapor, we can kind of see that spin up occurring as we speak. I always like to watch these satellite imageries come in. But yeah, this is a nicely placed storm here because we've got some drought concerns here across Southern California. But again, one more look here at the visible satellite. You can see some lenticular clouds off the higher terrain. Yeah, you might be able to get some nice pictures of that as you go through the day today. But yeah, you can kind of see the north wind pushing down the coastline here and the spin starting here across central California as this storm is just now organizing here across the state. And talking about that drought concern, we have severe and extreme drought now introduced across Southern California. If you did not see me talk about this over the last couple of days, so fairly widespread. But again, the good news is the storm coming in is targeting these areas across Southern California, lesser amounts across the deserts, of course. But Southern California dramatically needs this rainfall. The snow across the higher terrain will help as well. We just hope it doesn't come too fast and furious because we've got some marginal risk here for flash flooding concerns. These would be very isolated, but again, we're watching these strong showers, perhaps dropping some heavy rain over places like the Eaton, the burn scar, the Hughes, and the Palisades burn scar as well. That could create some debris flows. So be careful for that if it starts raining heavily and you are near a burn scar area. And this goes on for day 2 tomorrow as well. Now, San Diego, look at this. This is such a nice looking map. You might want to hang this on your wall. Look at this. Irvine up over an inch. Anaheim, Riverside up over an inch as well. Look at that. San Diego getting towards an inch also. More for the higher terrain and in the form of snowfall. So we're not going to have big deluges of water running down the slopes here as well. Keep that up in the mountains and let it melt off slowly and saturate the soils up there. And yeah, this could be a very favorable setup. It will be, in fact, especially if we don't get any debris flows with the heavier rainfall amounts. And even those should be fairly localized. Now, looking at Big Bear Lake, 8 to 12 inches. Look at Wrightwood, 8 to 12 on the San Diego forecast. That's not bad. We're keeping this as snow again across some of the higher terrain. I'll show you the Los Angeles one here in a moment. But they talk about the flood watch from tomorrow afternoon through 4 p.m. on Monday. You can see there's the Palisades, the Eaton, and the Hughes fire as well. So we're going to be watching for those showers, training over some of these burn scar areas. There is a chance for some small hail and some lightning as well. Now, Tejon Pass, look at on I-5, 2 inches snowfall. Be careful traveling back and forth from the San Joaquin Valley down towards Los Angeles or back and forth. You could be running into some snowfall there for the higher terrain. And look, it says Wrightwood 7 inches, Lockwood at 6 inches there. Snow levels 3,500 to 4,500 feet, 6 to 14 inches in the San Gabriels. And you can see slick roads possible all the way down towards 3,000 feet. Winter weather updates here. So Las Vegas, check it out. Goldfield, Tonopah, pretty high locations out there. Probably going to be underneath that snow level, which is going to be pretty low at times, even down towards 2,000 feet for some areas. Also, not just the snow, but it's been a long dry spell. So some of the dirt, oil, and grime on the roads are going to be very slick, especially with light precipitation amounts. And you can see there's winter storm watches. Baker and Amboy are included in that. And you can see Bishop and Independence in the winter weather advisory as well. Now, taking a look at Sacramento National Weather Service, look at Redding and Red Bluff, Saturday through Sunday, 45-40 out of the northeast here across the higher terrain. So watch out for these gusty winds. This goes all the way on through tomorrow, January 26th. And again, same thing here, wind advisory, gust to 55 miles per hour. Now, if we look at the mountain snow, there's Reno here, and you can see 4 to 6 inches above 5,000 feet, 8 inches over peaks, mainly south of Highway 50, dusting down to around 3,000 feet as possible. This goes from this morning all the way through 4 p.m. on Sunday. Some gusty winds out there, chain control is possible. Check before you go. Now, looking at the San Joaquin Valley, there is a chance of thunderstorms here over the next couple of days, including the foothills, the Sierra Nevada, and some of the coastal range also. Kind of isolated here, but there is that potential. Brief heavy rain is possible. And even they talk about some of the hail, small hail potential out there as well that could make things slick, especially when you get a little bit of elevation. Now, I wanted to point this out across Arizona. You see Flagstaff and Tucson are included in this red flag warning. Even though the winds are onshore, it's still low relative humidities out there across portions of Arizona. So be careful for that. Keep a heads up. Now, wind advisory, 60 miles per hour over the ridges. There's Klamath here. The coastal area is kind of unusual that they're not that windy in this setup. It could be blustery and whatnot, but looks like the wind advisory is just for the higher terrain. Same thing for Medford, Oregon. That does cover portions of California. There's Mount Shasta. Might get some blustery conditions as you go across the Siskiyou Summit and north of Mount Shasta there as well, especially across the higher terrain. So watch out, especially high-profile vehicles. Now, I get a lot of questions on which weather station I recommend, and I do like to look around the world to see who else has some of these weather stations out there. You can see there was even somebody out here, it looks like, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, have these weather stations as well. So I do like to kind of peel across the planet and look to see who has these tempest weather stations. Highly recommended. All solar powered, easy to set up. Even my mom can set it up in less than 5 minutes. But yeah, very fun weather station. Click on the link down below if you want to save 10% off on one. Great smartphone app as well. Now, taking a look here, we've been looking at this map here for the last few days. This is the North American high resolution model. You can see the cyclonic rotation and these high relative humidities just kind of inundating much of Southern California. That really helps with the fire danger. But like I mentioned, they're still pretty low there across Arizona with some of these gusty winds. And then you can see the little pinwheel down the coast, and this is going to have some showers with it. Some of these are going to be heavy at times. They're going to be training over some areas here across Southern California, and as long as they stay off some of the burn scar areas with the heaviest amounts of rain, we should be okay. But there is that potential again for the local burn scar areas to get some debris flows. Now, look at a composite reflectivity. I'll put this into motion. You can see as we go on in through tonight and into tomorrow, you can again see these precipitation amounts start to pick up. And I'm going to back this up. When does this start? As we go through early this afternoon, you might start to see some of that showery activity, and then as you go through tonight across Southern California, San Joaquin Valley, maybe a thunderstorm or two there for the slopes of the Sierras, the foothill areas. And then we scroll on in towards Sunday. You can see, again, repeated rounds of rainfall spinning with that low pressure right off of Point Conception there, bringing some of these heavy amounts. And again, you could see flashes of lightning and hear some thunder out there. And hopefully this brings some precipitation across some of the desert areas as well. You can see kind of a slow moving low as we go through to about Monday afternoon shown right here. Now, composite reflectivity on the HRRR. So this goes out 48 hours. It's a high resolution rapid refresh. Look at some of this just kind of pop up as we go through the afternoon today. Modesto, maybe a thunderstorm up towards Sacramento, even wouldn't rule that out. Foothills of the Sierra Nevada, and let me back this up. Sorry, I'm going back and forth a little bit much here, but as we go through this afternoon and evening, we start to bring those showers into Southern California, finally putting an end to the rainless streak. And you can kind of see these are hit and miss, but there are going to be multiple rounds of them. And then you can see as we go through Sunday, I mean, look at some of these showers moving across Ventura, Santa Barbara and Ventura County, and hopefully, not too fast and furious over the Palisades burn scar or the Eaton burn scar, and the same thing with the Hughes. But look at some of this rainfall, heavy at times, moving through Sunday night on in through Monday morning as this low pivots right across Southern California. And if we take a closer look at that, you'll see some of these showers moving in again as we go through this evening and tonight, but the really heavy stuff starts to pick up as we go through, especially Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. Look at this swath of some heavy rainfall out there. And again, kind of hit and miss, really heavy for some areas. Good luck guessing exactly where that is going to occur, but really watch out if you're close to some of the burn scar areas. Now, total precipitation in inches, I'll play through this here pretty quickly, and you can see, again, multiple rainfall events here coming, or I should say multiple rounds of showers coming here for Southern California. And again, a lot of this is going to remain as snowfall once you get up over 3,500, 4,000 feet for Southern California. You can see some of these streak across some of the San Joaquin Valley, even trying to make their way back up towards Sacramento also. So yeah, heads up for that. Now, total precipitation in inches. So you can see that kind of the dramatic differences here between some of the areas. I'll just scroll all the way out towards Monday afternoon. And again, the highest amounts across the higher terrain. But look at this, even San Diego, some of the coastal areas. And you can kind of see the hit and miss nature here across the Los Angeles metro. And hopefully the Palisades is not getting up over an inch and a half here in too short a period. And you can see as you go out towards Ventura County, 1.8, and there's some pretty heavy amounts showing up for some of the slopes there for Santa Barbara County as well. So you got to watch out for that. I mean, that could even cause some problems even if you're not on a burn scar And total snow, just kind of playing through this here really quick. I'll scroll through this and we'll kind of see nice snowfall here for some of the higher terrain as well. That's nice to see also. You don't want too much of that running off when you're dealing with some other flooding potential. Surface-based cape. So this kind of is the fuel for thunderstorms. And if I scroll through here, you can kind of see the cyclonic rotation move down towards Point Conception. We really destabilize here as we go through Sunday, and we're going to have that instability around as we go through Monday as well. And 80 meter wind speed. I just want to point out that we're still getting the strong north winds down the Sacramento Valley, northeast winds here, but you can see them onshore. These are southerly, southwesterly winds across Southern California. And again, the relative humidities are going to be pretty high, and some strong winds across the peninsula and some of the higher peaks of the transverse range as we go on in through tomorrow. You can see the low continue to spin there and bring those showers all the way on in through Monday. The fires out there, yeah, you can see that, they got the Hughes, the Eaton, and the Palisades are pretty well contained as of right now. And with the onshore flow, we've dramatically reduced the fire threat here across the region. But, there's been a lot of damage done. Look at all these structures destroyed, a lot of fatalities, and a lot of acreage has been burned. And this is the Arizona. I've mentioned this a couple times. Critical fire danger out there today. I like to look at the upper levels of the atmosphere, and this is the hot off the presses 18Z European, and the models have locked onto this system fairly well over the last few days. I mean, very little changes, very impressive performance by virtually every single weather model in picking up this event. You can see that slow moving low finally kicking out. I mean, it's still out here as we go on in through the end of next week, and then we start to get maybe some westerlies and additional frontal systems after that. And I'll play through this here really quick on the North American model. You can see on the high resolution that low just kind of spinning. We go all the way out towards Monday, and still the upper level low is right across California and Nevada. Now, total precipitation on the European, since I've been playing through this every day, we'll just go ahead and do this again. But yeah, some healthy precipitation amounts. This is the probability of precipitation up over half an inch. You can see these have been trending upward for some of the coastal areas and the higher terrain. So good to see that. Lowest percentile, 10th percentile here of the ensemble, European ensemble members. And this is still decent rainfall, and so this is probably the minimum amounts we can expect across the area. There's the 50th percentile, and there's the 90th percentile there. Now, taking a look at the extended forecast. So artificial intelligence European as of last night. There goes our system right here. Then we get a bit of a break, and the ridge is going to be dominating for a little while. But then we get a system maybe moving through as we go towards Thursday night into Friday morning. It's going to impact areas bay northward as we go through the day Friday. Some pretty interesting signals there. We can start to bring some heavier precipitation amounts as we go through the weekend. Additional systems trying to pull into California here, and that maybe we'll get another round of rainfall here for Southern California. The European artificial intelligence has been hinting at that for some time now. So we'll just continue to watch that and see how that plays out. 6 to 10 day above average Pacific Northwest. Who knows? We'll have to see how that checks out. 6 to 10 day temperature below normal here for the west. There's 8 to 14 day in precipitation. They start to see these systems rolling in here. How much of that will get down towards Southern California is the big question. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.